Namaste, namaste, and welcome to Monday Midday Chair Yoga. And today we are going to explore sun salutations, seated sun salutations, once we've done a little bit of centering and warming up. So come into your comfortable seat, just not relaxing against your chair back, instead sitting towards the front and sitting tall. Rest your hands wherever they're comfortable and gazing gently downward or closing your eyes if you feel able to do so. Take this moment to step away from everything else going on around you and bring yourself into the time and space for yoga. As you do that, perhaps you can feel a softening of your shoulders and across the face as you let go of your other responsibilities and attachments, and allow yourself to feel a little lighter, a little more at ease. Notice any areas of the body that feel a touch achy or stiff, working gently and kindly with them throughout our practice. Notice at least one part of the body that feels peaceful, spacious, and at ease. Allow that sense of ease to ripple outward to touch other places, to soften some of our tension. Notice your breath in this moment, just your natural ebb and flow. Tap into the sensations of the breath, the coolness of air coming in through the nose, the warmth of the breath leaving the body. Notice also the area in which your breath moves, the parts of your body that move as you breathe. When you're ready, you can deepen your breath, breathing just a little deeper without strain or force, just filling the lungs. Maybe exhaling just a little slower and longer. Take a few more deep breaths like this. And on your next breath, just sighing gently out through the mouth. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm and fall into quietness. And simply bring your chin towards your chest without force or strain, just wherever it naturally goes to. Give yourself a smile. And then when you're ready, raising your head, opening your eyes. And we'll free our arms so we can roll our shoulders a little. A few times forwards, a few times the other way. And then resting your hands wherever is comfortable again. We're going to sit nice and tall and just find a gentle side bending. So we want to do not a super quick movement, but a nice and steady bend to one side and bend to the other. just exploring our way. So we're not trying to push to any particular place, just where our head naturally goes to. And when you've done this a few times to each side, you might like to hang out with your right ear towards your right shoulder. Just feel how that feels across the sides of the neck and the head and the face and into the shoulders, the chest, the upper back. Maybe you can allow your arms to be heavy, maybe even press the left palm to the floor. If that feels good, you might like to just move the left hand back a little bit. Maybe roll your wrist. Just see how that opens space across the chest. And then when you're ready, relaxing your left arm, drawing your head back to center, and in the center, making any small movements with your head and your shoulders. Before sitting tall, left ear towards left shoulder. Spend a moment just feeling where you feel any sense of holding or stiffness or tension. Maybe explore having the arms long or pressing the right palm to the floor. If that feels good, you might like to draw your right shoulder backwards and maybe make some wrist circles with the right hand. Just exploring if that helps you to feel a bit more open across the chest. And then relaxing the right arm, gently bringing your head back to center, rolling a little bit in the shoulders, in the neck. Feels good. And we're going to bring the chin towards the chest again. Take a moment to smile. And then as your head comes upright, bottom teeth over top teeth, lifting the chin up. Taking a moment to pause here as well. Don't hold your breath. Allow your head to come back to center. Relax the jaw to its natural place. Chin to chest. Gentle smile. And then coming to center. Bottom teeth over top teeth. Lifting the chin. Just pausing wherever you get to. Breathing gently. And then gently back to center. Relaxing the jaw. Maybe wiggling your jaw from side to side. And today, blowing raspberries. So making your lips maybe a bit moist and then keeping the lips nice and soft. And blowing air through the lips. We all make a funny sound. We're going to do this 3 or 4 times. Deep breath in. Getting that really nice tingling sensation of the lips vibrating against each other. And then we'll just do one more. Wonderful stuff. And then here, just that sometimes makes our lips feel really super tingly. So just smacking the lips or doing anything that feels good with the mouth and the cheeks, maybe a wide smile. And then we'll bring our awareness a little bit down away from the face. Hopefully you've got a little sense of joy and in touch with your inner child. And then we're going to bring the fingertips towards the shoulders. We're doing one shoulder at a time. We're going to start with the right. Just going to make a nice circle with the right elbow. It doesn't matter if you're not able to get your hand onto your chest or your shoulder, just have it slightly away from the body. Nice roll of the shoulder in one direction, and then we'll go the opposite way as well. Roll of the shoulder the opposite way. And we're not trying to necessarily hold our bodies rigid, but we're trying to resist the movement of the chest with strong centered belly muscles. Relax this arm, but keep the hand towards the shoulder. Same thing on the other side. So just allowing some swift or slow circles of the shoulder, whatever feels good to you. Using a little of those belly muscles, going the opposite way, so we can resist that movement, keep that sense of strong center. Very good. We'll do one more. And relaxing the arms down here, just allowing the arms to swing a little. Sorry, I just hit my chair. So do take care that you're not going to hit your chair. Just swinging backwards and forwards. There's a little sort of lift and lower of the shoulders happens. And then when you've done a few with both arms at the same time, just swinging a little bit from more like a soldier swings his arms, alternate arms. And here, instead of resisting the movement, we're going to let the chest move as we move. Still strong in the center to provide support. And then try to keep the chest still in the center and move the arms on their own. It's quite a different feeling. When you're ready, just letting the arms relax down to the sides. Maybe give the shoulders a couple more rolls. Any movements of the neck that feel good. And we're going to take our feet onto the floor. So I'm just going to move my block to one side. Feet nice and wide as we sit tall and lift in the belly muscles. We're going to bring the palms towards each other in front of the body, chin to chest. And then take the arms wide, lifting the chest, maybe turning the palms up, lifting the chin. So rounding through the body, palms together, scoop the belly in, and then sitting tall to open the chest. Take the arms as wide as you can, turning the palms up if possible. If you wish to get more rounding, bring the backs of the hands towards each other, chin to chest. And then still keeping the arms long as you reach them out to the sides, turning the palms up, lifting the chest and chin. Rounding through the body, palms or backs of the hands towards each other. Pressing into the feet to sit tall, turning the palms open to the ceiling. Last one, rounding and opening. And then here, floating your arms down to your side, just giving the shoulders a little bit of soft releasing. We did a really strong class in the mat class today, so my shoulders are feeling it a little bit. I hope yours aren't feeling it too much. And then here in the center, firming the belly, just doing a gentle slide of one hand down the chair leg and then the other. If you don't have legs on your chairs that are in that right place, then just reaching fingertips to the floor on one side and then the other. You don't have to go far. If you prefer the security of holding onto your hips and hands onto the hips for a little bit of confidence in your movement. A little engagement with the belly muscles. You can actively press the feet into the floor. It really helps here. The next time you go over to your right side, in whichever fashion you're doing, we're just going to hang out here. Maybe look a little bit to the left if it feels comfortable. Maybe take the left shoulder back a little bit if it feels comfortable. And then just breathe before returning back to that sideways movement and back to center. Same thing on the other side. Lift in the belly, leaning over to the left. Maybe turning the head a little bit to the right. Maybe taking the right shoulder back a little bit. Holding and breathing. Returning to that side stretch. And then back to center. We're going to bring our feet all the way together. For those who are comfortable, you can cross the left leg over the right leg, either at the ankle or at the knee, but you can just do this with the feet together. It doesn't matter which of these you choose. We're going to reach the arms up, and then we're going to twist to the left. So left knee is in front and on top, or ankle is in front and on top. We're twisting to the left. Reaching the left hand behind us, the right hand over the body, and just turning a little bit to that left side. Lift in the belly. Think about pressing your right foot into the floor and lengthening through the crown of your head. And then gently unwinding back to center. We're going to unwind our legs as well. You can either have the feet together, the right ankle in front of the left ankle, or the right leg crossed at the thigh. Reach the arms up. and then twist to the right. Left hand to the right thigh, right hand behind you. Press into the left foot to sit tall, engage in the belly, and just ease into that gentle twist to the right. Take a deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, gently unwinding the legs as well, rolling the shoulders. Excellent. So let us move our awareness down to our feet and do a little bit of heel lift. So we're going to lift the left heel and then the right heel. So just paddling one heel and then the other. Try, if you can, to keep the knees over the ankles. So they don't need to be exactly over the ankles, but what I mean is don't let them fall inwards and outwards. Don't let your ankles do floppy things. So keeping this almost in line, doing a little lift and lower. If it helps, you can do your arms as well. For some reason, it feels very natural to do that, but it might not. It's okay. And then we're going to turn the toes inwards and the heels outwards and try to do the same thing. Lift one and then the other. This does feel different across the ankles. The knees come towards each other. That is absolutely fine. Just going a little bit up and down. If it feels too awkward, stick with them just straight on. Do one more to each side. And then we're going to turn the heels in and the toes out. Same thing. So just lifting one and then the other. Because we're not standing, we're not loading the ankles massively. So this might be okay. If you ever wanted to practice it standing, you can. A little bit more strengthening for the ankles and the calves. When you're ready, floating the feet down to the floor and just turning them back to center. Slide yourself back on your seat. Reach your feet out in front of you and rolling at the ankles. Nice ankle circles. And we'll go the opposite way as well. Just lovely circling. We're going to do this again in each direction. So circling the ankles in the first direction. You can do it at the same time. You don't need to do opposite sides. And then the opposite way as well. Just a little movement there through the feet as well. And then bending and stretching the knees, the legs at the knees. Just a little kick. You don't need to kick very high, but if you're able to get your leg extended straight out in front of you at the height of your chair seat, then you're really working those quad muscles a little bit more strongly, which is also quite good for us. You can extend through your heels. We'll do some through the heels, and then you can extend through your toes. So if you're pointing your foot, it feels a little bit different across the knee when you do that. Let's try alternating again. Extend through the heels. And then extend through the toes. Very good. One more to each side. And relaxing the legs down. We're going to slide a little bit forward so that we can have the feet nice and wide and pivot on the heels of the feet, just a gentle flex of the toes, let the knees come inwards and outwards. Just trying to roll the thigh bones in the hip sockets a little bit here. And then when you're ready, you can bring your feet back to center. So we're going to do our seated sun salutations. And then when we're done with this, we're going to stand up and do some quite expressive work standing up as well. So feet any comfortable distance apart. Too wide is probably not too helpful. So maybe inside hip width apart, inside shoulder width apart, body width apart, if you like. And we're going to start by letting the toes find the floor, spreading the toes out, pressing into the balls of the feet and the heels so that we sit lovely and tall. We've got that support to be able to grow the spine upwards, engaging gently through the belly muscles. We'll start with the arms down by the side and we'll practice a few slow movements together. So we're breathing in, taking the arms around the body as we look up. maybe bringing the palms together. And as we breathe out, drawing the palms down to the center of the chest. Let's do that again. Breathing in, reaching the arms around the body and up, looking up. Breathing out, drawing the palms down to the center of the chest. From here, we're going to reach the arms straight up, but at the same time, lift the right knee up. So breathing in as we lift the right knee and lift the arms. Breathing out, we're going to round our body, hug that right knee towards us. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in, just keeping that knee lifted, opening the chest. Breathing out, rounding and holding the knee towards us. We're going to breathe in, lengthen the right leg in front with the arms nice and high. And as we breathe out, twist to the right, extending the leg all of the time. Breathing in back to the center, just reaching the arms up. And breathing out, twisting to the right. Very good. We're going to breathe in as we bend the right knee back to the floor, reach the arms up, and then just making sure you've got enough room on your seat, breathing out as we fold forward. We're reaching the hands away from us. Have the hands on the knees if you need to, or reach all the way down towards the floor. And then as you breathe in, you can reach the arms away, press into the feet, firm the belly and the buttocks and the back of the body to come into an upright movement. And then we're doing the same thing as we breathe out, folding forward from the hips as we lengthen forward, relaxing the back of the neck, and then pressing into the feet, breathing in nice and firm with the center of the body, and breathing out, bringing the palms together at the center of the chest. Wonderful stuff. Now let's do our left side. So we start by breathing in, moving the arms around the body and up, and breathing out, drawing the palms down to the center of the chest, and one more like that. Breathing in, sitting nice and tall, pressing the balls of the feet into the floor and the heels. Breathing out, arms down to the center of the chest. Now, as we breathe in, press into the right foot to lift the left knee up, lift the arms. Breathing out, wrap ourselves around that knee, draw it towards us in whatever way feels good. Breathing in, maybe just slightly lower the left leg as you open the chest. Breathing out, bend that knee into the chest, hug it towards you. As you breathe in, lengthen your left leg and lift the arms. As you breathe out, twist to the left. Keep the leg extended as you breathe in back to the center, lifting the arms. Breathing out, twisting to the left. We are going to breathe in back to center, lower the left leg down. Make sure you've got a nice firm seat. And then breathing out as you lean forward. So long, straight back as long as you can. And then fold, if you'd like to, over your legs. Breathe in, reach the arms away in front. Press into the feet to sit all the way tall. Open your chest, maybe even move the hands slightly back. And then breathing out, forwards, all the way forwards. Scoop the belly in as you fold. Breathing in to come back up. Pressing into the feet, firm in the center, and breathing out, palms together at the center of the chest. Very nice. So we've done one round to each side, but we did 2 of every movement. And this time we're going to do it just 1 of every movement. So hopefully you found a comfort with the movements, and we can take it from there. We're going to sit really tall, start with our right leg. But we breathe in to begin, arms around the body, looking up, breathing out, drawing the palms down to the center of the chest. As you breathe in, lift your right leg, press into the left leg, open the arms up to the ceiling. As you breathe out, hug that knee towards you. As you breathe in, lengthen your right leg, lift the arms up. As you breathe out, twist to the right. As you breathe in, reach the arms up, right foot finds the floor, and then lengthening forward as you breathe out, find that nice forward fold, first length and then fold. Breathing in to reach all the way forward and up, pressing into the legs. Maybe opening your chest, breathing out, palms together at the center of the chest. This time I'm going to do the left side, but turn slightly sideways so you can perhaps get a better view. So breathing in, take the arms around the body and up. Breathing out, draw the palms down to the center of the chest. Breathing in, press into the right foot as you lift the left knee, opening the arms as well up. Breathing out as you round through the spine and gather that knee towards you. Breathe in, lengthen your left leg, open the chest. Breathe out as you twist to the left. Breathing in, lower the left leg and lift the arms up. Maybe open the chest here. Breathing out as you lengthen forward, scooping the belly in, thinking about length, 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 and then fold. Breathing in to reach the arms forward, pressing into the feet, firming the belly and the buttocks, maybe opening your chest one last time. Breathing out, hands together at the center of the chest. Let's do one more round to each side. Breathing in, reach the arms around the body and up. Breathing out, palms together at the center of the chest. Breathing in, press into the left foot to lift the right knee up, reach the arms up. Breathing out as you round through the spine and gather that knee towards you and make yourself a curly shape. Breathing in as you lengthen the right leg forward and arms up. Breathing out as you twist to the right. Breathing in, place the right foot down, reach the arms forward, and then from the hips, lengthen forward as you breathe out, reaching forward and then folding if that feels comfortable to do. Relax the back of the neck, then breathe in, pressing into the feet, firming the belly, reaching up and breathing out, bringing the palms together at the center of the chest. One more time to the left, breathe in, take the arms around the body and up. Breathing out, palms together, center of the chest. Breathe in as you press into the right leg and lift the left knee and arms. Breathe out as you curl yourself around. Gather that knee into your chest. Breathing in as you lengthen left leg and arms up. Breathing out as you twist to the left. Breathe in as you come back to center, taking that right foot to the floor, and breathe out, left foot to the floor, sorry. Breathe out as you fold forward over your legs, relaxing the arms down. Breathing in, pressing into the feet, firm in the belly to lift. Maybe open your chest. Breathing out, finish with the palms together at the center of the chest. Take a moment here just to feel the effect of your practice. Perhaps relax your arms down to your side. It's quite a lot of effort, even though we're making slow, steady movements. We're using quite a lot of muscular effort to do that, so we need to roll a little bit in the shoulders, make any movements that feel good to the body. So having warmed up ourselves, maybe we could just little thing for the hands while we're here. So here with the hands in front of the body, it doesn't matter if your arms are long and straight or if they're nice and softened back towards the body. We're just going to open and close the palms of the hands. I don't know where it's best to show it on the camera, but here we open and close. And then wiggling the fingers. So like you were playing the piano, you can even do it in front of the body and take them apart and together if you would like to. And then we're rolling at the wrists. Nice long fingers as you roll. We'll go the opposite way as well. Oh, got a cracky wrist today. That's not unusual for me, especially not that side. And then just shaking out the hands and just allowing your shoulders to shake a little bit as your arms shake. Aces. So before we come to standing upright, we're just going to take our awareness into our feet and roll the effort into the inside of the foot and then into the outside of the foot. So across the foot, lifting the opposite toe. So if I roll to the outside of the foot, I can lift my big toe off the floor. If I roll to the inside of the foot, I can lift my little toe off the floor. So just rolling one way and then the other. If I turn this way on, it might be easier to see. So rolling in and out. And we can start with these nice big movements where we're turning the whole ankle, but what we want to avoid is moving the knees as well. So we're trying to keep the knees relatively still and we're moving the ankle. So we're awakening the effort across the low legs, stabilizing with the thighs. So you have some muscular switching on there. And then see if you can become a little bit more subtle. So leaving the toes on the floor mostly. See if you can rock from one side to the other. So a little bit more subtle, but perhaps more of a functional movement, more what we would do in real life. And then when you're ready, you can just give your feet a little ball of the foot tapping on the floor. And we're again going to sit back in our chairs and give ourselves a little roll of the ankles, or a shake of the feet, or a roll of the legs, whatever feels good here, just as long as you don't hurt yourself by kicking anything. And then we'll come up to standing. So we're going to place the feet underneath the knees. We're going to float onto our feet and then float back onto the chair. So we want enough of the buttocks in contact with the chair that you feel really confident about where you go back to. And then with the feet directly underneath the knees, remember, if you're reaching forward with your firm belly and you don't quite get the buttocks off the chair, but you've made the effort in the legs, that is good. Keep doing that until it works. So we're reaching the hands forward just to float gently and then float back down. Reaching the hands forward, float gently up, float back down. Nice and firm across the belly muscles. We're doing 3 more of these. This is 1. And then we'll do 2. Lovely. Go slower if you need to. It's not a problem. 3. And now we're going to stand all the way up. So we're firming the feet into the floor, reaching forward, and then from that floated position, standing tall and opening the front of the body, letting the hips perhaps come a little forward, nice and firm in the belly. And then we're going all the way back down. Reach the hands forward, reach the tailbone away from you behind, bending your knees so you can lightly plonk your bottom down. And then we do it again. Reach forward, float onto your feet, and stand all the way tall, opening the front of the body, feeling that really big space across the front of the body, and then reaching the hands forward, scooping the belly in, bending at the knees, lightly kissing the buttocks to the seat. This time, we're going to stand all the way up and stay up. So reaching the hands forward, pressing into the legs to stand all the way tall, opening the chest, and then just simply floating the arms down to your sides. Roll your shoulders if it feels good. Wriggle the sides of the body if it feels good. Aces. And then we are going to come to using our chairs in a slightly different way. So I'm just going to turn my chair this way, and we're going to stand sideways onto our chairs. And we want to take ourselves a reasonable distance away from the chair so that we have some room to move our hips towards it and away from it. So this is what we're going to do. But once we're there, I'm going to step slightly aside and then just give ourselves some hip circling. So nice and firm across the belly, doing a little hip circling, keeping the chest lifted, keeping the neck extended, the throat open. Doesn't really matter how you do this. If you want to do lots of wiggling with your upper body, you can. Just making sure that your tummy muscles are active. If you want to be more still in the upper body, that's great too. Wherever you're going, however you're doing, going the opposite way round in your circles. And just seeing if you can have some sense of what's going on across the front, the back, and the sides of the body, as well as in the hips, legs. Enjoying the process of being a bit wibbly and wobbly, holding onto the seat if you need to, not a problem at all. When you're ready, you can come back to center. And then here, we've done a bit of side bending, but we can put the hands onto the hips and just do a gentle lean to one side and then to the other. So we want to take it a little bit further than the hip circling allows. Maybe now that the body is warmed, we find a sense of being able to lengthen just a touch more, but we want the legs to be active. So a little soft in the knees, buttocks switched on, belly muscles working. As we go from side to side, we'll do one more to each side. Lovely. Super. And you'll notice that I was leaning my upper body, but we can do this leaning the hips. So we can do that. It's easier with the feet slightly closer together. So do hold on to the seat if that's comfortable. And instead of thinking about leaning your shoulders over, think about leaning your hips to the side. One side and then the other. Feels a little bit different. The legs can stay a little straighter if it feels comfortable. Little lift across the belly muscles. And you might feel parts of your body sort of switch on to do holding or lengthen or find space, whatever it might be. In the center, just give yourself a little wiggle. Feel free to shake out the legs in any way that feels good to you. And then we're going to stand with our feet towards each other, wide as you feel that you might like. One hand on the chair. So I've got my right side next to my chair, right hand on the chair, and I'm going to reach my left arm out to the side, and then here, find some lift. Draw the shoulder blades back towards each other, and then reach over with my left arm coming over towards the chair, and just see if I can find a little bit of length between my body and the chair. So I'm trying to make the left side of my body really long. If it doesn't feel comfortable to hang out here, you can gently come in and out a little bit. And that's probably a good thing for everybody to do. So gentle lift and gentle into the pose. Nice and firm in the buttocks and the belly and the feet. If you feel like you can hold in your side bend, you might like to gently look up and look down. So a little spiral. We did this sitting down last week. A little spiral of the body. So you can always do it sitting down if you prefer. One more time. This time, as our left hand comes across the body, we're going to turn our feet towards the back of the chair and find a downward facing dog or a chair supported down dog. So nice soft knees extending through your tailbone. Feel your belly scooping inwards and upwards. Feel that space across the underarms. Maybe softly swaying your hips from side to side as well. Lovely, lovely movement. And then from here, we're going to press into the feet and stand really tall, coming back to our upright position, making sure that we feel really secure and sturdy and stable on our feet. Maybe giving the shoulders a quick roll, which you can do holding on or not. And then I am going to turn myself around, but you guys don't need to if you don't want to, or if you're Annette and Sharon, you might just swap chairs, so that you come to standing with your feet close-ish together, but with the left hand on your chair, standing really tall to begin with. Think about maybe engaging the buttocks. That might mean tucking the tailbone under slightly if it feels good to you, firm in the belly. And we're just reaching the right arm out to the right, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other, maybe reaching all the way over, just allowing ourselves to find a position where we can maybe move the hips away from the chair to get that extra sense of stretch. If it's uncomfortable to hold all the way in, just coming a little bit out and in a few times, which is always a nice thing to do. So we're not expecting the body to do everything all at once. We allow it to warm up to the process. And then if you're ready to hold, You can gently roll your right shoulder up towards the ceiling and then roll your right shoulder down towards the floor. So you get this side stretch, but with a little rotation. Really lovely thing to do for your latissimus dorsi muscles, but also across the whole of the torso. Reach the right hand to the chair, turning your feet so you can face the chair back, walk the feet away and come into downward facing dog. And here, maybe just gently turning the head from side to side, nice and soft in the knees, scooping the belly in, maybe wiggling the hips gently from side to side as well. Pressing into the hands so that you're not just relaxed across the shoulders, but using the upper back. And then when you're ready, bending the knees deeply, walking into your chair so that you're standing upright again. Whew. It was quite good, long, open work, and hopefully you feel good for it as well. So here we have an opportunity to use our chairs just one more way, or many more ways, but we're going to hold on to the chair back with the left hand and the right hand, but face away from it for a change. So if you really struggle with holding onto the chair, you can do this on the wall, and I'll show you in just a moment. So rolling the shoulder blades towards each other and just maybe stepping away from your seat so that you can lift your chest a little bit and look up towards the ceiling, but feel that the shoulders are down. You can even slide your hands down a little bit if you wish to, but holding onto the chair, you get that nice lift, maybe a little press of the buttocks forward. And then when you're ready, relaxing your head back to center, walking back towards your seat so you can really relax in the arms and come out of this. So if you find that holding onto the chair is too much, then that's where a belt would be really helpful. You can hold the belt behind you, do the same thing. You can do this with support so that you're standing perhaps facing a chair, so you get support from the body there, for the body there. But there is a lovely way to do an opener with the wall here. So if you've got a piece of wall, let me move this here, you can bring yourself to the wall and allow your chest to come quite close to the wall, reaching your arm behind you. Now, it might be that you need to give yourself a little bit of space from the wall. The closer to the wall you get, the more intense this feeling of openness across the front of the body. And we do this on the floor in mat class quite regularly, but it's a really nice one to do with the wall because you don't have quite as much pressure down through the shoulder. So your hand could be a little bit lower if it feels good to do that. About shoulder height is ideal. And then you're keeping the majority of your arm on the wall and your palm and just walking your body away. So your feet point away from the wall if that's what's comfortable for you. And of course it might not be, so you can come out of it just a little bit at a time. When you're ready to release, all you do is gently turn towards the wall and let that arm slide down so that you can soften the effort. And then the same thing on the other side. You step yourself quite close to the wall, reach the arm out behind you, it's palm to the wall, around about shoulder height there or thereabouts. Step away from the wall if it's too intense. And then if you'd like to, you can turn your torso, your feet first, which will help the bottom of your body to turn away from the wall, trying to keep your shoulders a little bit down. So if they creep up, usually means it's a bit too intense. Shoulders down is what we're after. And just that gentle rotation, maybe a touch of engagement across the buttocks to allow that to happen, helps the chest to open as well. When you're ready, turning back towards the wall, just sliding that arm down and relaxing yourself away from the wall so that you can soften any shouldery bits that need softening. Aces. Well done, guys. That was quite intense in parts. We're going to come to sitting back on our seats, and we're also going to do a little bit of forward folding and then a breathing exercise that will take us into relaxation. So finding your way back. If, like me, you have to reorganize your room for every different posture, then finding your way back to center, perhaps putting on some warm layers. And I'll let you in on a little secret. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have to move anything around, but I really like movement. And so it suits me to move things around. Makes me feel better about it. Excuse me. So to begin with, we want to create maybe a little rounding or forward folding. Now, it might be that you feel it's quite useful to bring the knees into the chest one at a time. And this might feel like the right kind of rounding for you. Or you might prefer a forward fold. So we're going to do both because we can. So you can do it, if you've done it once to each side, you can do it again, just hugging your knee into your chest. If hugging the knee itself doesn't work, hold around the back of the thigh, maybe just round yourself forward ever so slightly. Make sure it feels comfortable in the back of your body. And releasing on that side, same thing on the other side, around the shin, the knee, or the back of the thigh. Just curling yourself up like a little mouse. And then gently releasing. Going to take the feet quite wide. Make sure you've got lots of the upper thighs and buttocks on the seat, hands either side onto the knees, and just lean forward out of your hips. So it's as if you were drawing the chest forward, lifting in the belly, drawing the shoulder blades down, lengthening through the back of the neck, a gentle sway of the upper body from side to side. And hopefully it feels quite spacious because of our work. And then when you're ready in the center, you can slide your hands down towards your feet. Maybe they reach the feet, the ankles, or the floor. Relax the back of your head so that the shoulders can fall towards the floor as well. Allow the upper body to be heavy here. Breathe deeply. When you're ready to come up, slide your hands back to your knees and then look forward. Lift your belly muscles and just hinge up from the hips, coming back to your upright position, rolling the shoulders a few times, maybe turning the head gently, and then placing your blanket on, preparing for relaxation proper. So lovely to unwind with some forward bending. And then making sure you're cozy, especially as I hear that it's quite cool on the West Coast today. It is here as well. It's been freezing all week though here. Settle yourself back against your chair, and if you'd like to, you can be against a wall where you can let the back of the head also rest onto the wall, or you might like to recline on a sofa or in bed if you have the opportunity to do that. Allow your eyes to gently close. And we'll take a few deep breaths, sighing out through the mouth. Deep breath in. Let all your effort go. A deep breath in. Let your muscles begin to relax. A deep breath in. And surrender your weight back and down into the chair and the floor. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm and fall into quietness. Take your awareness into your forehead, feel it soften. Feel that space between the eyebrows separating. The area around the eyes releasing. Your mouth, tongue, jaw relaxing. Allow the whole body to feel heavy, warm and supported. softening down, finding some stillness. Draw your awareness to your breath. Observe your natural, spontaneous breath. Observe the coolness of air coming in through the nose and the warmth of the breath as it leaves the body. Observe the rate and the rhythm of your breath. Notice if you have any moments of stillness as you breathe. Perhaps there's a moment of stillness just at the top of your inhalation, before you exhale. Perhaps there's a moment of stillness at the bottom of your exhalation, before you breathe in again. Without strain, keeping your face and shoulders relaxed, observe the natural pauses and stillness in your breath. Without holding your breath, allow those moments of stillness to extend gently. Allow your awareness to hang in those moments of pause. Observe the natural deepening of the stillness of the body, the stillness of the mind in those moments of pause. Feel those moments of stillness like an ocean of calm tranquility. Each moment of pause in the breath allows you to feel that deep calm and tranquility. You can say in your mind, I am at peace. I am at peace. Om. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into your hands and your feet, maybe wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe rolling your wrists and your ankles. When you feel ready, you can take a deep breath in and stretch the body. Maybe yawning, doing whatever feels good in this moment. You can bring your chin towards your chest if you like. Might like to, do whatever you choose. In your own time, you can rest one hand on top of the other across your chest. And this week, we are going to bring into our heart center ourselves. So holding yourself, holding perhaps the image of yourself. And it could be, as it always is for me, an image of yourself in your youth, because that is how I still see myself as a very young woman. And allow her to be there, surrounded by your compassion and kindness and patience and tolerance and love. And today and for the whole week, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to treat yourself like a friend. So when you have your internal dialogue, you're speaking to yourself with kindness and compassion and patience and love. Smiling broadly. Whenever you're ready, raising your head, opening your eyes and releasing your hands down. I hope you've enjoyed this practice as much as I've enjoyed sharing it with you, and I will see you next time. Namaste.